Yo, what's poppin' Pokepals? Rare Boy here, and I'm back with another impossible Pokemon challenge. Today we're going to find out if it's possible to beat Pokemon Ruby using only a Galarian Zigzagoon. The reason why I chose Galarian Zigzagoon is because it's supposedly the original form of Zigzagoon, so let's see if it can outperform its ancestors from a foreign region. Before we can even begin our challenge, I first need to import Galarian Zigzagoon Sprite into our version of Pokemon Ruby. Once the sprites are in the game, I then need to edit the game's internal data, so this once empty data now functions exactly like a Galarian Zigzagoon would. I code in its base stats, TM and HM compatibility, level up movesets, and other essentials so that this data functions exactly like a normal Galarian Zigzagoon would. For anyone wondering why I put a 0 instead of an O in our Zigzagoon's name, it's because you can't have two Pokemon with the same names in our software or else it just glitches out. Now that our Galarian Zigzagoon's in our game, let's review the rules of the run. The first rule is that I'm only allowed to use Galarian Zigzagoon in battle. We are allowed to capture other Pokemon for HM usage, but they cannot assist Galarian Zigzagoon by any other means. The second rule is that I'm not allowed to use items in battle. Held items such as leftovers are okay, but items such as X items or Hyper Potions are banned until the battle has ended. And finally, no glitches or exploits will be used to complete this game. It's just a normal playthrough of Pokemon Ruby, but with the Galarian Zigzagoon. With the rules explained in our Galarian Zigzagoon in game, let's jump into some gameplay. The first thing that I do is pick up our Galarian Zigzagoon from Professor Birch's bag. For this run, I replace Trico, so our rival takes Torchic for even more of a challenge. I nickname our little rock star Kiss, after the band it resembles, and coincidentally is one of my favorite bands, so be prepared to hear a ton of Kiss references in this video. I take a look at her stats and she has a sassy nature, which means more special defense but less speed, which isn't great. With Kiss on the team, it's time to become the kings of the nighttime world. I took on Brendan at level 6 and we actually almost lost this match if it weren't for a crit that bypassed our attack drops. Interesting first fight to say the least. It took me a while, but I got Kiss up to level 25 and made my way to Detroit Rock City. I tried to paralyze Geodude with Lick and then go for flinch hacks with Headbutt, but my plan was a complete failure as we get completely demolished. At level 30, Kiss learned Counter, which is the only way I could see us beating Roxanne before level 50. We aren't out of the woods just yet though, as Brawly is next. Hopefully just brute forcing our way through is enough for him. Unfortunately for us though, we got absolutely manhandled by Brawly. I think if we can flinch Machop and get to Makuhita with full health, we can win at this level, but this might be a great expectation. Not only did I get a flinch on Machop on my next attempt, but I also critted Makuhita for a complete and unexpected sweep. Well, that was nice. Brendan could have been problematic if he didn't flinch Combusken twice and crit Shroomish. The God of Thunder is next though, and I'm not looking forward to him, especially now that we don't have much to combat him in terms of steel typing. At level 40, I took on my arch nemesis Watson, and we thankfully had enough firepower to outmuscle his pesky steel types. We won on our first attempt, but it wasn't easy as we were paralyzed and brought to red. One more round certainly would have finished us off. My first Team Magma Leader Maxi fight ended up with a loss for us, as an Intimidate from Mightyena cripples our already lackluster offense, and we get outmuscled by Golbat of all things. I guess I'll have to lick it up and start grinding again. After training Kiss in special attack EVs and reaching level 50, our Thief attacks do significantly more damage as we steal a victory. That wasn't a Kiss reference, that was just me making terrible puns. Heaven's on fire as things heat up with Flannery. Her Slugmas are an easy one-shot, but thanks to almost losing half our health from recoil and double edge, Torkoal came in and I knew we'd survive a double edge, so I went for Thief to put him in range as we crit him and survive an overheat on just 12 HP. I take a huge risk and go for double edge, and after recoil we live with just 4 HP. If we didn't get that crit with Thief, we would have taken ourselves out from double edge. We try to show Daddy Norman that Flamin' Youth will set the world on fire, but his slackings put us to sleep with Yorn, and his second one OHKOs us with Focus Punch. If I can get a Chesto Berry, this match should be doable. Well, I unfortunately couldn't get my hands on a Chesto Berry, so I instead got kissed to level 62, and with a smart counter prediction on Norman's first Slack King, I had just enough health to use the necessary double edges I needed to win this fight. Our final Brendan fight was severely underwhelming, as we took out all of his Pokemon without an issue. We almost beat Winona on our first attempt, but we just don't have the HP needed to take out all 4 for Pokemon with Double Edge's recoil. While Double Edge is our best move, it's also our greatest liability. I got Kiss up to level 70 and replaced Double Edge with Facade to protect us from recoil, but now we have a problem. Skarmory doesn't deal enough damage to us to counter him, so we get out-muscled by him and taken out. I kinda screwed myself on this one. I did a little backtracking and picked up the Black Glasses item, which was surprisingly enough to defeat Skarmory with well-timed counters as well. I guess those Black Glasses were the magic touch. Tate and Liza were an easy first try victory, as they couldn't use their strongest move in Psychic against us. Solrock dealt some massive damage with Flamethrower, but other than that, we got away unscathed. I forgot to heal before entering Maxie's fight, but it doesn't matter, as Crobat's Wing Attack deals a surprising amount of damage to us. I'll try again after gaining some more levels. I went back into the fight with full health and Strutter 76 with the Silk Scarf attached, and while all of these adjustments, we were able to pull out a narrow victory and awaken the mighty Groudon, who Kiss instantly OHKOs with a counter. Talk about tough love. There isn't much to say about our fight against Wallace. We just spammed Facade until his Pokemon dropped. Milotic and Seaking almost took us out with rain-boosted water pulses, but we pulled through like champions. After all the challenges we did where I talked Shiinotic about Wally, he finally got his revenge as he completely shut us down with Magneton. I have an answer for him though, so I'll be right back. I can't believe I'm saying this, but on my second attempt on Wally, I taught Kiss Dig. That slightest bit of adjustment made this fight into a complete sweep. Admit it, Wally, you love me to hate you. Here are our stats just outside the Elite Four at level 78, and these are horrendous. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There is no way I see us winning with our current loadout, especially with our moveset being severely underwhelming. Let's just see how far we can get with our current position. I was severely disappointed when I seen our damage output against Sydney's team. I was really hoping Pin Missile would deal more damage to his Shiftry and Cacturn, considering they're 4 times weak to it and all, but it did practically nothing to them. I guess it's time to have a complete moveset overhaul. After that depressing display, I got Kiss up to level 90, and her stats aren't any better. As for her moveset, I got Double Edge back with the help of a Heart Scale, and I taught her Ice Beam for Drake. And I think that's as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately. Let's see if this is enough to place our Galarian Zigzagoon into the Hoenn Hall of Fame. Even with all of my preparations, this battle was still difficult. Shiftry swaggered us to help counteract Mightyana's Intimidate, and we thankfully didn't hit ourselves in our confusion to bring down Sydney's team in red health after the recoil. Can I be honest? Our Black Glasses boosted Thieves were dealing a lot more than I was expecting against Phoebe's team. I think at level 100 we'll have the power we need to take her down. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, here are our stats at level 100, and as you can imagine, they're still terrible. Our moveset also hasn't changed, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, Rare, why don't you just give Kiss a better Dark-type move? And the answer is because Thief is the only Dark move Zigzagoon can learn in Generation 3, as opposed to Knockoff, but Knockoff wasn't as good as it is now. We gotta work with what we're given, so hopefully this is enough. So, to my absolute shock, getting to level 100 was enough to sweep Phoebe's entire team. I honestly was not expecting that, but I'm so glad it worked out this way. Hopefully Glacia isn't an issue. Okay, Glacia is going to be an issue because we are once again taking too much recoil from Double Edge. I'll see if I can get a Citrus Berry or something to help with the recoil. I picked up an Aspire Berry, which functions pretty much like a Citrus Berry, and it helped us to get to Walrein, but we were still too weak to take him down. I either need to replace Double Edge with another normal type move, or I need to replace it altogether. So I decided to replace Double Edge with Takedown since it deals less recoil and attach the Silk Scarf to make up for the lost power, but it wasn't enough to OHKO Glacia's second Celio, which is a potential issue. I'm really trying here, guys, but Zigzagoon's moveset is very lackluster and detrimental to him. Well, my final resort was Body Slam, which is an attack Zigzagoon can learn through TR in Generation 8, and it was actually enough to get me through the fight while still in green health. Although, I feel like I'm cheating because TRs aren't actually a thing in this generation, but I had to do it for the sake of scientific purposes. I almost beat Drake on my first attempt because Ice Beam is a run saver. The problem is, if Shelgon hits us with one Rock Tomb, we can't outspeed his other 4 Pokemon, so this battle is going to be heavily reliant on Shelgon's Rock Tomb. Is what I thought until I realized Shelgon gets OHKO'd by our Ice Beam, which made this battle a complete pushover. Now all that's left is Champion Steven Stone. Our first attempt against Steven started off great, as Skarmory missed his Toxic, but the problem is Claydol, who sets up a Reflect which almost nullifies the power of my dig against Aggron. I don't have much else to combat Aggron. On top of that, Aggron has Earthquake, which doubles in power if the opponent is underground. Great. I made it to Aggron with high enough HP to withstand an Earthquake, and a Reflect wasn't set up this time, but it still wasn't enough to OHKO Aggron. I think this is unfortunately where the run ends, but as always, I'll keep trying. Well, I figured out how to take out Aggron, but now the issue is Cradilly, who survives our Ice Beam and can easily take us out because in order to get to Aggron, we have to take an Earthquake, and there's no way around that, which means I have to unfortunately throw in the towel on this run. Is what I would have said until I remembered Zigzagoon can actually learn Surf. So, I replaced Body Slam with Surf, and Steven's team is so much more manageable. The problem now is Metagross. He does have a tendency to go for Meteor Mash, which isn't 100% accurate, so I think with some good RNG, we can pull through on this one. It took me many attempts, but I finally got a run where Metagross missed his Meteor Mash, and because of that, we were able to hit him with 2 digs, and he doesn't go for Earthquake, dropping the Steel Titan and defeating the champion of the Hoenn region. Finally! I shouted out loud as I registered Kiss into the Hoenn Hall of Fame. We did it, people! We got a Galarian Zigzagoon into the Hoenn Hall of Fame. I have to say, I'm very surprised by how difficult this challenge turned out to be. I'm very happy we got Kiss into the Hoenn Hall of Fame, even with our makeshift moveset, which was very limited and underwhelming in Generation 3. That's my favorite part about these challenges though, being absolutely surprised by which Pokemon can complete these runs and how easily they can do it. I had a ton of fun with this challenge, being able to make so many Kiss references was great. And if you got all of them, or at least some of them, let me know in the comment section below. I love talking music with people. For my next impossible challenge, we're going to find out if it's possible to beat Pokemon Silver using only a Munchlax. So if you don't want to miss that run, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. In the comment section, I want to know what your favorite part of today's run was. This has been your boy, Rare Boy. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!
Red, white, and blue, yeah, I love this place.
Excuse me, did you just watch this video? You must have if you made it this far into the video. And yet you haven't liked, commented, shared, or subscribed. The Rare Boy working very hard on these videos. Please do the man a favor.